Thank you for the hat, Lance. Our dopamine. Oh, I got that fix. Oh.
Stream is starting. The Captain Coder at the helm. Bean water is ready. Today we will learn a lot. He loves the questions. He loves to sing. Join our Discord and follow him.
Good morning, children. Good morning, coders. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you happen to be in the world. Captain Coder here on this beautiful, beautiful Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Got the finger, Lance. That's right. Giving everybody that finger. The good finger, though. The good finger. This one saying you. Hey, you. You in the back. Pay attention. It's great to have all of you beautiful people here. I hope you're having a beautiful day.
You in
on
the
this
back.
Beautiful.
Pay
That's
attention.
right, Corvus. It's so great to have all you wonderful people here. Oryx, congratulations on your #1. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here on time, everybody. I'm just kidding. There's no on time. There's no late. There's only Zool. There is only Zool. Lance, the next James Bond finger, movie code finger. They call us the code finger. That's right. Patrick, welcome in. Great to have you here on this beautiful day. Lance, it's always a pleasure. G, enjoy your day. I know you're busy, so I always appreciate if you can make it in even for a moment just to say hi, just so I know that you're doing all right. Oryx, thank you for the hat. Let's get another hat on this head here. Look, double the coding power, double the fun. Double mint gum is where it's at, folks. Smab, I'm glad you're here with us on this beautiful day. Smab, I'm going to be trying to do some multi-threading stuff in Blazor using web workers. I actually thought that .NET 8 had that as something that was already in. Found out it got pushed back. It looks like it got pushed back to .NET 10 even. Oh, thank you again for the next hat, Patrick. Let's get another hat on this deck. If anyone is familiar with doing web workers, and we got 2 more hats, 1 hat. Let's get a second hat, 2 hats. Mooniz, welcome in. Hope you're having a beautiful day. There we go. 4 hats. 4 hats deep, folks. Here we go. Mooniz, welcome in. Congratulations on your number 10. I'm so excited. Mooniz, how have you, Mooniz, are you gonna, Tony with another hat distracting me. Distracting me with all the hats. Let's go. Boom. There it is. Tony with the bonus hat. Let's get so many hats. So many hats. I gotta zoom out already. Oh, whoa. There it is. Too far. Let's zoom it back in just a hair here. Thank you everybody for being here. Is the current state of the WebAssembly machine in the browsers? Gotcha. It looks like there might be some NuGet packages that we can use. I may end up just making a server-side Blazor application. That may be what I end up actually doing. What was the max hat count so far? So I think I have 18. Can't talk. Intensicode. I have 22 hats, but having 20 hats on for an extended period of time actually does get my neck kind of hurting. So I decided 18 is what I have here, because I have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on my head, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, I have 18 hats in here. So I have 18, because 20, we got up to 20 something sometime in my head. I was like, I gotta get out of here. It's too many hats. Yeah, so great to have you here, Smab. Thank you so much for the info. Tony, welcome in. I hope you have a beautiful day. And Mars9T, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Corfless, it's a pleasure. We got Siler Atomic. We got Sigian, the incredible Sigian. I hope your loops are coming along well. Patrick coming in here. We got Mooniz, the incredible Mooniz. We got Intensicode. You guys are all wonderful. You guys are all incredible. What are we working on today? We're taking a little side detour today. Because I'm trying to get this Lua interpreter working in my web browser. Using Blazor, I could do it using JavaScript. Started working on a new implementation of a board game this week, inspired by a friend. Very cool. Which board game, if you don't mind me asking? If you're not sure, Phil, I would love to know more about it. I've been wanting to do some more board game stuff too. I want to get back to the tactics engine, but I'm probably not going to be able to get back to it till July something, because we got our game jam coming up. The Amazing Labyrinth. Ooh, I think I've played that one. Let's see if we can find it. Amazing Labyrinth. I think I'm familiar with that one. Yeah. This game is really cool. This game is super cool. I wonder if I even have this game. I know I had this. I had a version of this game when I was a kid. This is a really cool game. Yeah. This game, I have a game that's kind of like it. Where Dungeon Quests. Dungeon Quest is a rune-bound Fantasy Flight version of this game. So this game is sort of a themed version of the labyrinth. So you end up with these characters you play moving through here, but this labyrinth gets built like this. It's a little bit different. It's not the same. This one, you're trying to get to the center, get some treasure, and get out. The Amazing Labyrinth is quite different, but very similar in the sense that you have these tiles that come out and build this random map. Cool game. Very cool. I'm looking forward to seeing your implementation of it, Smab. Thank you for sharing. But yeah, I want to do a Lua interpreter in the web browser without making my own Lua interpreter. And to get user input, there's some blocking issues. I can't quite get it to work without threading to get the user input to pop up while you're waiting. I'd have to go in and modify it. So we're going to see if we can hack our way through with a adding in a web worker that will block for us while we wait for the user to type something in. I'm gonna see if I can get that to work. If I can get that to work, then I think I can actually make a C# interpreter in the web browser as well. That one might actually be even easier because I don't have to, no, because I want to do console.read lines as well. I hadn't heard, you hadn't heard of it, gotcha, yeah. We had this when I was a kid. There was like a remake of it in the 90s, I believe. But yeah, The Amazing Labyrinth's a cool game. All right, folks. Mungard, played that a bunch as a kid, yeah. Welcome back into the stream. Hope you're having a beautiful day. So let me show you what I got so far. Let me show you the problem or the challenge. Where did visual? Yeah, we're still here. Okay. So let me launch this here. Let's see if this launches up for us. I would like to have a Lua interpreter. There's a couple reasons. I want to have a Lua interpreter in the web browser for a couple reasons. io.read is a blocking. This is the world's worst website, by the way. I'm just doing a prototype here. But I've been working. I want to get this. This is like where my brain happens to be. So this is what we're going to do today. We have this interpreter. It does Lua. If I run it, the output comes down here like that. That initialized with me testing some stuff out. Hello world. So it's just doing a Lua. There's a Lua interpreter written in C# that it's using to do it. And then it processes all that stuff here. There's a problem when you do io.read, so if x equals io.read, where when you do an io.read in the web browser, it needs to be asynchronous, but the interpreter doesn't have an asynchronous way of doing it. So I'd have to modify the interpreter if I wanted it to be async. I can give it some inputs to start out. So if I type in like banana here, this will actually set the inputs. And then I can print it out here. I believe this will work right here. Yeah, so hello world banana. I could change this to doggo, submit, and run it again. Now the input. The problem is if there's no input to read, I get back null. I want it to be interactive. I want it to be interactive so that when you do an io.read, it pauses, it blocks. A little prompt will come up and wait for you to type something in. So right now, if there's no, so we need to like have the interpreter pause. We need the interpreter to wait. I cannot figure out if there's a way to do it without multi-threading. Multi-threading is the easiest way I can think to do it. So I want to add a web worker that I actually run on, and that web worker will actually pause itself and wait for our input queue to be filled. Hyper and Mungard, it's wonderful to have you. Hyper, hope you're having a beautiful day. Congratulations on your number 11 today. But that's what I'm trying to work on here. Is this font tiny as heck for you guys? I know it's pretty bad, but this is what I'm working on here. So if I refresh this, the default page I have just is this io.read. I go ahead and submit this. Oh, sorry, now it's gonna work, hang on. I hit run here. Currently there's nothing in the thread. It actually is sleeping, waiting for input, but because the web is single threaded, everything blocks while it waits. I can't do anything here. And it's doing it from a just standard stream. It's calling read, not read asynchronous. So I haven't been able to, in my stream here, I can't make it, I can't do an await here because read is not asynchronous. And it doesn't use the asynchronous version. There's a read async in our streams as well, but the code that's calling our stream is calling read, not read async. So I don't have control over that. I don't have control over that. So my idea is if I can use a web worker, and this will run on the web worker, this will run in the background, then I won't have to pause. Flavius, welcome back to the stream. I'm doing absolutely wonderful on this beautiful Wednesday. I hope you're doing wonderful as well. But that's sort of my idea here. I thought we had And this is just because I don't know enough. This is what it looks like after 2 days. Sweet, let's check it out. Ooh, private user images. I'm assuming that this is on a private. Interesting. I can't, for some reason, I can't see that, or I didn't copy it all the way. It looks like I copied it all the way. I'm not sure. Smab, that one's not going to work for me. Okay, let's kill this. Ah, there it goes. All right. And I was going to look up web workers. There we go. Let's take a look at that. Workers, Blazor. I saw a couple packages that might be what might help us out here. Started work, so the 8 hours of pain begins. Oh, Smab, very nice. Even these cards look good. Where did the art come for this, or did you make these really quickly? Oh, so it's like this looks cool. Smab, I'm so excited. I love this type of stuff. I love this type of stuff. Emojis, oh, even better. Super cool, super cool. So these are like the direction you can travel. Awesome. I can't wait to check it out. Can't wait to check it out. Okay, so this is the one I was thinking I was gonna go for because it's pretty up to date. There was another one, Spawn. This was the other one. Spawn Dev Blazor JS Web Workers. I wanted to look at these two. These are sort of two options that I have. Where's the Nougatify. Let's go look at Blazor Worker. So we're gonna have to connect. We are gonna have to do some JavaScript stuff here. NuGet Blazor Worker. This one, just because it has more downloads doesn't actually mean it's better. But which one is more up to date? This one looks is updated 4 days ago. Let's look at this. .NET 8 support. I think they both have .NET 8 support. .NET 8. Yeah, they both have .NET 8 support. Blazor United in WebAssembly project only. I don't know what Blazor United. Blazor WebAssembly 678. Yeah, they're both the same. Up to the same version. All right, the library that works provides a simple API for exposing .NET web workers in client-side Blazor. Check out this live demo installation. And then the Razor view, Blazor worker. I don't think either of them you have to actually add in the JavaScript, a high-level API that abstracts the complexity of messaging by exposing a strongly typed interface with expression mimics tasks.run. My CPU intensive task, and create background async, run async. So I want it, yeah, so it looks kind of like I can do something like this. Can I pass messages? I think this one lets me pass messages, because web workers are interesting because they kind of are isolated from each other. So passing messages is an important bit as well. Easily pass net message to JavaScript. That's not quite what I want. We're gonna try this one. This one looks like what I want. Am I committed? Let's come in here. Let's make sure I'm my Git is all committed. It's not. Let's go ahead and I'm not sure what changes I made. Oh, this was me trying to get it to do asynchronous because I have it working non-asynchronously. All right. Okay. Yeah, so I think I can revert. I want to be able to set the line. There's going to be a queue in here as well that we're setting rather than just the next line. All right, I think this is fine. Sure, my attempt at async call. All right, let's go ahead and add in then. We're gonna add in NuGet, manage NuGet packages. I will say there's some nice things about, do you want to normalize the ending? Sure. There's something nice about this tool in Visual Studio compared to Visual Studio Code. Having access to the NuGet packages and stuff in this nice little interface is pretty neat. That said, I never had any issues otherwise. Really didn't have any issues. It's just a nice thing to have. Blazor worker. Core. Think this is really what I want. No. This one, Blazor worker background service. Okay. Go ahead and install that. Threads in Blazor. Is this really what I want? Hang on. Or is this one? Is it by the same person? I think it's this one. What's the difference? Hang on. Use .NET Web Worker threads in Blazor. Are these the same? Bring me to the same page, so I'm gonna do this one actually. Background service, okay. Code Monk, how the heck have you been? Flavius Kid, I think I already said hello to you, but nice to see you again. Might need both, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the instructions from this page here to see it. Saw, welcome back to the stream, hope you've been well. What have you been working on, Sai? I know you've been working on some fun stuff. Oni, it's wonderful to have you here with us on this beautiful day. Yeah, that's what I figured it was going to include core there when I did that. So I'm going to follow the instructions on this one. We got to add the worker factory to our service. Okay. UI stuff at the moment, in what, like front end, when you say UI stuff, tell me more. Tell me more. All right, add the worker here. Make sure we compile. And then in our Razor view, we want this stuff here. I mean, like the main menu for your game overstring, bit of portfolio, web dev, gotcha. So for your game, gotcha. Yeah, UI stuff, I'm pretty weak at the UI. I am pretty weak at UI stuff myself. Okay. I'm trying to get better. I am trying to get better. Let's see, does this build? All right, it builds, I think. 0 success, build completed. I think it's just saying I didn't make any changes. Hang on. Okay, build succeeded. All right, let's look at these examples. A high-level API that abstracts the complexity of messaging by exposing a strongly typed interface with expressions. Mimics task.run as closely as possible to enable multi-threading. The starting point of a Blazor worker, in this context, the service class that must be defined by the caller. The method that you expose in the service can be called from the iWorker background service interface. Methods and method parameters must be public, or the expression serializer will throw an exception. That makes sense. You have to pass it between the worker. If you declare a public event on your service that can be used to call back into Blazor during a method execution useful for progress reporting, okay. Each worker process can contain multiple service classes, but each single worker can work with only one thread. Each worker process can contain multiple service classes, but each single can only work with one thread. Okay, that makes sense. With my understanding of web workers, I've done this once before in JavaScript land, doing web workers to do what I want, where it blocks on waiting for user input, where I wanted my students to be able to write something without using the await keyword. For multiple concurrent threads, you must create a new worker for each. See the multi-threaded example for a way of organizing this. I really just need one extra thread here. I have not had internet for a few days, Sally, because I switched providers, so I could not watch you or Biggs. That's okay, so I'm not here every day anyway. Props, how the heck have you been? Props Master, what have you been working on? It's wonderful to see you, my friend. Oh, welcome back in. We're having a lot of fun here. I'm having a lot of fun working with this interpreter. I want to build a Lua. So I've fallen in love with Lua. I have fallen. You're so close, Saw. You're almost there. You're almost there. I have fallen in love with Lua ever since I used Tick 80, and I've been using it with my students. I did a trial run with it the last 2 months. No, I did a Tick 80 class in the winter, and then this is actually the first term I did a full Lua intro to programming class, and it went so well. It went so well with my trial run that I want to build a website similar to my C# adventure website for learning to program in Lua. And I think Lua might be the starting programming language that I use with students moving forward. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to give it a try next year. So this is part of my plan to build a tool to help students learn Lua and to monitor their progress and share their work with each other more easily. That said, I still love C#. It's not like we're switching away from C# anytime soon. Props, working on my first podcast website because there aren't enough podcasts. I've been wanting. It's funny you say that. I kind of want to do a podcast myself. I learned how to learn to do it and have some fun. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So let's just do their example here. Let's use their example here. So I'm going to create a Razor view. Here, we're going to create one called long process. All right, component. Let's create a new one. Worker example dot razor, like this, and we'll paste this in here like that. And then this needs my CPU intensive process. This will be my CPU intensive service. Like this. Copy that in there. Like that. You know, the sad thing, I only know one thing in C#, and that's console, right? That's all right. You can always learn more. And, you know, no one's saying you have to learn C# here. It just happens to be one of my favorite programming languages. For me, it's one of my favorites. All right. And then for routing, I don't have to do this. Let's create a new. I can make this a route. If I do this, worker. I think I can do that, and then do /worker to get to this page. Have a bunch of stuff open here. Worker. All right. F12 test. My friend, there's nothing. I can't even tell if anything's happening. What is supposed to happen here? All right. Result run async. I guess I got to do something with the result here. What is the type of result? It's an integer at the end of the day. It's funny they did this reference to live outside of the current scope. What I can do to make sure it's still running, input box here. So we'll have an input box that I need to be able to interact with. Service.run async, and then what I can do is set put some text on the screen as well. P at value, int value equals 0, value equals results. Can we do that? This shouldn't work. Oh, it isn't, because we're doing it in a wait there. It can work. Okay. Let's try building it here. GDScript is totally fine. Absolutely. A lot of money on assets and Unity store, but I don't want to go to waste. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. All right, test. There it goes. All right, so it is running in the background. Let's make it run even slower. Here's the real test. Here's the real test. I want to be able to do a thread.sleep without blocking. So we're gonna do a thread.sleep here like this. This is the most important thing for me, I'd still need to be able to put this thing to sleep or have it do some kind of loop and still be able to interact. All right, so I can still interact here. I actually can't tell if it's running. Maybe I should do some console.write lines there. Okay, all right, so it doesn't block. This appears to have what I'm going to need. Can I send this thing messages? Okay, so I'm now, I think this is gonna work for our needs. I think this will do what I need. Let's try one more thing. Well, I is less than, I'm gonna do I is less than 10. We'll do I need to be able to send some messages to and from this. We might be able to do some, we'll see what's going on with it. I need some messages to go back and forth. We'll do a console.write line. We'll do an I here. We'll have this sleep for 10 or 1 second each time. And so it's going to write a message. We'll see if that comes out in the console log. At the end of the day, we'll return 7 just because we'll get some value. We need to get some value back. And then I want to test. I'm not getting output. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. It's printing 1 over and over. Uh-oh. I didn't do I++, so we got an infinite loop here. I++. Like this. Walks in. It's great to see you. Oh, walks in? No, Lance. I thought for some reason I saw walks in Lazamat. Welcome to the stream. Lazamat walked in. There we go. My brain got confused there. Hope you're having a great day. You can click test there. I can still interact with this. It's still running that thread. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about this. Can we send messages to and from this service? That's a question that I need to answer. If we can, all right. Service, my CPU intensive service. There's a couple things I can try. While loop should be banned here. We'll do it as a for loop. For int I equals 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. Yeah, that infinite loop was unintentional. It just, I was rewriting what was already here. Lazamat, it's true. It's true. Do my method like this. You're welcome. You're welcome. Great to see you, my friend. I hope you're having a perfect day. Maybe not a perfect day. Who has a perfect day? I hope you're having a beautiful day. I want to be able to pass a message. Let's see if there's if they have how to do this. Serialization expressions are being serialized with serialized.link. By default, set your service like this. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Hang on. Excuse me. Excuse me. Follow second device passing types. Okay. Because I think while loops during the stream. I'm gonna have a while loop later that's just like a blocking. It's more than anything, it's gonna be waiting for a queue. My thought here, I'm 90% sure. Here, let's try some public static string test value or value equals string our dopamine. Oh, I got that. Thank you fix. For the dopamine. Orange Braxton, I hope you're having a beautiful day. Happy Wednesday. Dramolks, great to see you. Great to see you. How the heck have you been, Dram? Dram, what have you been up to? I'm always curious. I always want to know more about your projects. Your project's so cool. I can't wait to play it. Oh, let's see. Do I even have Unity open here? Dramlooks, I was playing around with this. I remember in your game, you had your character running. So for slopes and loops, I decided to do a 3D one. And I was having so much fun making this character follow the slopes. I want to make a parkour game. So yeah, Dramlooks, I remember your character, you had something, I was watching where your character could like run along walls, which I thought was super cool. But I was doing slopes in 3D because I did them in the 2D, slopes and loops like this. Yeah, this just made me want to do a skate park game. I was doing here. Let's go over to this one here. Le Hero, welcome back to the stream. Great to see you. Because this is Kenny's assets. They have the skate park assets. So I had a bunch of fun making this like this. I was like, oh, that's cool. I went right through that. That's okay. So I decided to build this half pipe, and I just have fun. Kenny assets. I'll send a link here in a second. But yeah, I'm using this little skateboard here to do the slopes. The only dude I use for assets, yeah, Kenny assets as the skateboard. These down here, can we zoom in? Yeah, so this half pipe and stuff, I was using it. But this reminded me of your game, Dram, where you can run on the walls. But I was having fun with that. Sorry, try not to get too distracted. Try not to get too distracted, a little distracted. Okay, so we have our worker. I want to pass a value, and I don't think I can actually set this. Console.WriteLine. I'm pretty sure the context is separate, but we'll find out. If not, this becomes relatively easy but dirty to do this. All right, so we have our value like this, but I have a static. All right, I'm gonna make it so that this input bind, bind is equal to, let's make this a string. I do a getter setter on this. This is an interesting thing. I'm not even sure if I can do this. Get set. What's going on with that? Okay, private string value test value. This is going to be value, and then set for now will be value equals value, just to test this thing out. And when we set it, I also want to do my CPU intensive service equals value dot value. Does someone here know how to set up include folder for C++? I tried setting it up 3 different ways and it didn't work. Late Hero's asking, anyone here do C++ work? Does anyone here do C++ work? I don't really. Oh, let's have another one. I didn't want to get rid of that. Int results value result value. Okay, let's build this, and we'll come over to, I lost it. Where's my web browser? Here we go. Other. Yeah, it's not setting that static value. So it's not actually passing it. It has its own, or my set isn't doing what I think. Let's do a console.WriteLine value. Value changed. I think we have to send a message, so I have to figure out how to do that. Yeah, so it's like a whole nother instance. Static values are not shared, which is what I would expect. It's what I would expect with web workers. So the static value we can't actually modify. Even if I did my CPU intensive, because it's created a new instance dot value. Sounds like it's just closed over. I don't understand. Okay. So I want to pass service dot unregister the event corresponding. Register event. I think I have to do it some kind of event here. And the event is going to ask for some information. If you declare a public event on your server, it can be used to call back into Blazor during a method execution, useful for progress reporting. Since the runtime defaults invariant culture. Let's keep looking here. Event expressions. Don't think this is quite what I want. Background service. Skydriver, welcome back to the stream. Congratulations on number 16. I'm doing absolutely wonderful. I hope you're doing wonderful. I am currently working to see if we can create. We have been able to create a web worker here, so it can run on a separate thread using thread.sleep. That's what I need. But I need to be able to send messages between the two. And so I'm looking into how to do that. Now, both of those would be fine, Skydriver. Both, one, both, either, none. It's up to you. If you have the points, go for it. Do you have the points? Yeah, you got 4,000 points. Not bad. Show off a board game. Let's pick a board game. I'm assuming you want pick three, choose one. I'll do a pick three, choose one for you, unless you have one in mind. Let's take a look here. What do we got today? Pick three, choose one. Ooh, here's a fun little one. So this is one of my favorite ones to take with me when I'm traveling. When I go with my students, I like to bring this. So this is called Iota. This is a set matching game. So it's like if you've played the card game Set, it's like that, but laid out. There's a little bit of a two-dimensional aspect to it. So Iota here. It's a set matching game. Little tiny, fits in your pocket. Bring it with you, play on a bus. You can't play it on a bus, but I like to bring this when I travel with my students. I'll be bringing this when I travel for our end of the year event. I really like that one. Let's see, we got, The game is an interesting one. So this is another card game I like to bring with me when we travel. So it's called The Game. It's a little card game where the players are not allowed to talk, but the goal is it's sort of collaborative. You have cards in your hand, you got to get rid of them, but you can't talk to each other. I don't have Dominion, though I do like that game. Most people I play board games with happen to have it already, so I don't have one, but the game's another one. So we got Iota, we got The Game. Let's see, what's the last one we'll pick here? I don't know what happened to quantitative easing. I really wanted, that would be the one I'd pick. Oh, let's go with Era. Era is a board game. This one's pretty cool. This is a game called Era, where you're building players are building a medieval village on these like contact boards. They're like these peg boards. You place things, and so you're trying to build the best town. It's trying to score points by building the best town. Era is a game of building a medieval village. So we got Iota, abstract game here. Oh, you want to do The Game? The Game, abstract. All right, so The Game is not an abstract game. We'll take a look at that one. Awesome, perfect. All right, so let me put Era back up here. We'll set Iota back on the shelf. There we go. And let's take a look at The Game. Fantastic choice. Let's turn on my document cam here. There we go. All right, so this is the game by Stefan Bendorf. Stefan Bendorf, the game. I'll move this so it's a little bit easier to see, less distractions on the screen there. Can we get the lighting to be a little bit better? Let's try adjusting our light there. Perfect. All right, so the game is relatively simple. It's relatively simple. Your goal is to get all of the cards played. You want to play all of the cards in the deck. So I think there's 200 cards, numbered 1 through 100. There are 2 of every card. So there's going to be 2 50s, there's going to be 2 59s, there's going to be 2 20s. There's 2 of every card. There should be, hang on, let's find, there should be a special card here. There should be 2 special cards. There they are. All right, so then we have 100. So there are special cards here, 100. You'll notice we have 100 going up and 100 going down. We have 1 going up and 1. Oh, no, hang on. These are both going down. So we have 100, 100 going down, 1 going up. 100 going down, 1 going up. So you take these cards, you shuffle them up, and every player has cards in their hand. So you end up like, I forget exactly how many it is, but it's like 10 cards, maybe 7 cards, something like that. So you have, these are not shuffled, so they're all in order. Let me shuffle them real quick. Give them a nice riffle, a riffle or two here. All right, get them a little shuffled up for us so they're a little bit better. Black Sheep, welcome to the stream. How are you on this a beautiful day? Black Sheep, welcome in. Hope you're having a beautiful day. We're doing a board Yamerdine. Thank you so much for the follow. I missed your follow there the other day. Oh, you followed a couple days ago. Thank you for following me, Black Sheep. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Someone came up with the game, but didn't have an imagination for the name. Yeah, I imagine this is a game people would play, and then we're like, you want to play that game? And so it just ended up being called The Game. Still not the best shuffle, but a little bit better to demonstrate. So every player is going to have some number of cards in their hand. I can't remember exactly how many there will be, but your goal is to play them. You can only play a card. All right, so we have 100 going down, 1 going up. You have 2 piles. And you can only play a card on a pile if it is less than 100 or greater than 1. So right now it's all of those cards. So I could play this 35 here. But now to play in this pile, I have to play less than 35 or greater than 1. So you end up cutting the amount that you can play over there. So where you put the card is really important. So I might put a 34 here. If this, you have to play a card on your turn. You have to play a card. Okay, so picking one of these is a little bit challenging. 95 is probably my best option. Put a 95 here. It eliminates the least number of cards. And your goal, every player has a different hand, and you're not allowed to tell people what cards you have in your hand. You're not allowed to tell people which cards you have in your hand. So it's a little bit challenging to figure out and coordinating how to do it. And the goal of the game is for everyone to play all of their cards. That's the whole premise of the game is, can we get rid of all our cards with as little communication as possible? Just trying to understand, okay, well, I need to do my best play here. What are my best play here? And so you have 2 piles going up, 2 piles going down at all times. And if you get rid of all the cards, you win. If you don't get rid of all of them, I think there's some sort of scoring mechanism, but there's 2 of every number, so there's going to be 2 95s that you have to play. There's going to be 2 92s that you have to play, so getting them out there is really, really important. The order that they come out, you could end up in a really bad situation where all your cards are right in the middle, and then it makes it tough to play through. But that's the game. Fantastic little game. One of my favorite parts about it is that's the entirety of the rules right there. That's the entirety of the rules. Look at that. Look how simple it is. Entirety of the rules. Super, super short game. You can sit down and play it in 15-20 minutes. This is another one I like to bring with my students. I like cooperative games quite a bit, especially when I'm working with students. I like competitive games too. I need a board game that comes with friends to play. Board Game Arena is a great spot to do it. Black Sheep, glad to have you here from Dungeons and Dimple Streams. Fantastic talking to board games. Dungeons and Dimples is a board game streamer, folks. Playing some great board games over there. If you want to watch someone play board games, go check out Dungeons and Dimples. Let me get this document cam off here. As you can tell, I'm a little bit of a board game junkie myself. I have a couple games back there, just a few. Thank you so much for the board game redeem. That was the game. Thank you so much for redeeming that, Sky there. Let's put this back on our shelf here. Let's go with the game. Perfect. All right. I think Hanabi is better. I love Hanabi. Hanabi is one of my favorite games too. I have the Domino edition here. So Hanabi is heavy game. So it's all of these are dominoes in here. Hanabi is a fantastic one. This one's harder to transport, but they do have a card version of it so that is a little bit easier to transport as well. Hanabi is a fun one. This is the deluxe edition. Race the clock to launch those fireworks. Gee, I agree. Hanabi is a fantastic game. It takes a little bit longer. I think that one takes a little bit longer with multiplayer. Let's hop back into our code here. I want to do some message passing, and I need to figure out how to do that. Yeah, so I really like this version here. We get a slight bonus. I'm not going to talk too in depth, but let's get a slight bonus here on Hanabi, just so I can show off a little bit. This version is fantastically cool because it's a hefty. Magic Gathering is Turing complete. There's a scientific paper on it. Turns out it doesn't take much to be Turing complete, but yeah, this one, Hanabi has. These are all done. Whoa! There they go. I didn't realize that was going to be in there. These are all dominoes. So rather than cards, they're thick dominoes for all your pieces, which I just absolutely love. It adds some depth to the game. Not real depth, but like some 3D physical depth to the game. So if you like Hanabi, the deluxe edition is quite good. It has the expansion in there with it as well. Didn't mean to drop all of that stuff. Hanabi is a really cool game. A cooperative game where you can't tell each other what pieces you have either. So that's another cool one. A game of team logic, team deep thinking. Look like more like Mahjong tiles. Yeah, they're kind of like Mahjong tiles. I call them dominoes. You're right, they're not dominoes. Mahjong tiles is a better description of them. Did I lose one? We'll have to see if we found one. No, I haven't. Okay, good. I thought I lost one. But this game's really cool. This is a game to, again, a cooperative game. This one, it says it takes 30 minutes. No, it takes me an hour to beat. Oh, the card version is way easier to hold. That's what I was going to say. The card version, I have the card version somewhere as well. The card version is way easier to hold. I would never... this one's just fun because of all the physical pieces. If you like the tactile aspect of it, it's really, really nice. The card version I have as well. I don't have the expansion with the card version though. Oh, thank you. I missed it. Thank you very much. Woo, it's a good call. Oh man, there's so many good games. All right, let's hop back in. Let's see if we can get our threads talking to each other. Okay, let's see if I can get our threads talking to each other. Maybe I can't do it. Lazamat, thank you for that. Let's take a look. Any serialization? This is useful for scenarios with simple API, smaller download size. Okay. Running. Worker. Background. Post. There it is. This is exactly what I want. Post message. Okay. And then the other one we need to receive the message and do some kind of translation with it. Okay. Line 57, incoming message. On click, if worker try. Okay, yeah, we got to do some incoming message stuff with it. If the worker is null, await the worker, worker incoming, background service, create async. So we create the worker has an incoming message equals that. Let's go look at yeah, we got to figure all of this together. Worker on incoming message, this dot on worker message. So we're gonna add a method to our incoming message. And then we send the message using post message like that. Okay. Let's see if we can do this here. And on our worker factory. Oh, they've pulled one in. Okay. So in our thread here, worker dot incoming message plus equals. We need to create a function that's going to have a message, an event handler, handle message, or I get it on message on incoming message. All right, and we'll have this. Can we do a generation of this? No, I'm gonna have to go look at what it is. Blazor doesn't have our, so this would be worker message. It needs to have these parameters, it looks like. Private, is this a void on incoming message like that? Do a console.writeLine message received. Sender message starts with double parse this output state has changed. So this is allowing me to change. I want it to go the other direction, I think. I think I want it to go the other direction though, because I want, yeah, I want to be able to modify a variable on my worker thread. Oh, maybe I can do that over here. Spam message. Okay. And worker.post message. So I need to have an instance of my worker. It's going to be an iWorker. Let's create an instance of that private iWorker worker. And what does this create? This creates a task. What is this variable type here? iWorker background service. iWorker background service. Is that right? Oh, wow, that's expensive. This should end up being one of these. Service dot. See, I want to send this thing a message, I think. We'll find out. Get worker message server. Return the message used by the underlying worker. Okay, this might be what I want. Worker factory. iWorker message service communicate with the worker from Blazor using message the lowermost level of communication. Accept message from iWorker post async and provide message using incoming message. Yeah, so I'm realizing the incoming message is sending me stuff. I need to send a message to it. So this is going to be our iWorker bear message service. Just so I understand the type, iWorker message service. iWorker message service. Can I import you? There we go. Yeah, so what I need to be able to do is this thing. All right, so the idea here is this thing needs to sleep until it receives a message. So I need to be able to change a value here. So it's gonna sleep. So we kind of need a while true here. All right, public bool waiting equals true. All right, so I want to do while waiting console.writeLine waiting. Okay. And eventually I want to be able to set waiting to false via a message. I want to pass a message in that will set waiting to false on this thread. That is what I need to be able to do. So it needs to be doing some work, and then I can sort of interrupt it if I need to. Okay, so it does a little bit of work. Is there any good resource program for modular making plugins for your app? It depends. For like a web app, you mean? Or do you mean like define app here and define plugin? So like web page plugins, that sort of things. Is this like an extension for your web browser? So WASM, this is a prototype for what I want to do. I have a long-running task that's waiting for the user to type. All right, so the alternative would be string here is null. I'm waiting for the user to type something in. So I'm waiting for the string to not be null. Value is null. Well, it's null, waiting, and then do something with that value down here. I don't have, I need to be able to set, I need to be able to queue in user inputs into this thing, and it just loops processing the user inputs here. I can't spin it up every time. It's related to, I'm doing a Lua interpreter, and the Lua interpreter, I have a Lua interpreter that blocks on user input. And so I need to be able to create a stream that I can push things into I can't just call a wait on a thing. I have a reason for doing this. Good reason might be wrong. And so I could show you the full scope here, but I basically want to be able to set this. This is just an example. This is not what I actually want to do. This is just an example of what I want to do. I like modular and I want to learn code with that in mind. Making plugins seems hard, but that's because I don't know yet. Looking for research you might know of. Depending on your programming language, making like things moddable. I used Lua to make a project moddable before. You could also do like dynamic loading of code at runtime. That's another thing you could do. I don't have any specific resources off the top of my head. Okay, cool, Lazmet. Just load DLLs at right time. Yeah, that's exactly what I suggesting. Just load the DLL. Just is the right word. Just load. But you could do some interesting things with it. Can I? All right. So what I want to do is add another button. This is going to be send message. Okay. Public async void send a task. Send message. Event args. And so I need this worker here. Like that. And I'm wondering, is it the worker that I'm sending to or the service I'm sending to? Where am I sending this thing? Let's rename this. Will you let me rename things here? It did. Okay. Worker.post message async. And then this will be our test message. We'll do an await on that. Okay. And we'll do, can I do this? I can't. We'll say if worker is null, return, otherwise post the message. Console.writeLine, posting message. Captain Anosa, welcome back, my friend. And Dirty Puddle, Lua, I've only heard it being used on Roblox. I really like Lua. I think Lua is a fantastic starter language. If you want to learn computer science, is that right? I think if you want to learn the basics of programming, I actually really like Lua because of its simplicity. I've used it with TIC80. The dungeon crawler I made, that used Lua. I'm a huge fan of Lua. I'm a huge fan of Lua. TIC80, yeah. I bought this device via your recommendation, Smap. So I got one of these here. The what is it, RBX90 or whatever. This thing is awesome for TIC80 stuff. Yeah, it's great. The first one I ordered, the one of the buttons was messed up, so I had to order a second one. But it's been a champ ever since. That said, I complained because the battery life on it's only 4 hours, which is hilarious to think about. It's a little bit short, but 4 hours is plenty of time. Hang on, I gotta go check on. I just heard my dog in the other room. Hang on, folks. I'll be right back. We're gonna take a quick coffee break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. What? Thindle, you're in charge. You're in charge, Thindle. What?
Kitty! He's very easy. I do pretty much whatever I want with her. Okay? Alright, let's let you down.
You in the back, pay attention.
Whoa.
We're back, Dev Dad. Thank you so much for the raid, folks. Do you guys know the Dev Dad? You don't, you gotta get to know the Dev Dad. Incredible streamer, father, software engineer. Go check him out. You won't be disappointed, I promise. You gotta go embed yourself. Lance with the bonus hat. Let's get another hat on this head here. Let's get another hat on this stack. Thank you so much for the hat. Dev Dad crew, welcome in. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Happy Wednesday. Iron Chef, welcome into the stream. Great to have you here. Thindle, I hope you've been well, my friend. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking control. Thank you for keeping track of everybody while I was out. We are working in Blazor today. We're trying to get some web worker message passing working. So I want to send some messages. Part of me needs to refresh just how web workers work for me, but being able to send the messages between these things is important. So this is just prototyping, playing with this, seeing if we can get it to work with our tools. What is going on with this? Nullability of reference void Weber doesn't match the target del event handler. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Increment should be an event handler. So is that just string message? No. What is the event handler here? Do I want to have the generation? My guess is that first argument. What would be the fix for this? What would be the fix for this? This is from our example. Event handler of string. It does let me take this here. Let's go look at event handler. Handler string E. The delegate object question mark. Okay. That's what it's upset about. Object question mark. Might not know who the sender is. Message received. Then I can also put message received from sender. Like that. Event handler don't support async. Waiting for execution to complete. So I am, yeah. So one of the things this is with web workers. I'm having. We're using their API. We'll see how it goes. Look into event aggregator instead if possible. This is not my API that I'm working with. I need to do a thread.sleep because of the method I want to be waiting in is not an asynchronous method. And so I have some weird reasons that I think are legitimate for wanting to do it. I don't have control over the source code, right? So I have a Lua interpreter that has a stream reader, a stream that it's just can read on, not read async. And so I have no control over that without going in and like forking that and then going through and changing everywhere where they read a stream to read async. So I'm doing something I think is kind of hacky, but kind of cool. We're seeing if we can go, yeah. So this is more of a prototype, seeing what I can do. If anything at all. Okay. But we have a web worker here. No, I appreciate it. Keep those ideas coming because I don't know all of these things. I know very few of these things. Okay. So I have a web worker running. Oh. Failed to fetch. Thindle, let's get another hat on here. Thank you so much for the hat, Thindle. With the bonus hat too, one hat. 2 hats. I'm glad you guys don't get tired of the hats. I'm glad you guys don't get tired of the hats. Thank you so much for the hats. I appreciate it. So there was something here. Let's get rid of this. My guess is this is the problem. One of these 2 things. I added too many things here. Lazamat, thank you for the hat. Let's get another hat on the head. Here we go. I'm glad you guys enjoy the hats. There we go. Thank you for the hats. Look, I know I never get, you know, just take a quick break. The hats come off. They come right back on. Right back on. No problem. No problem. You guys don't waste any time getting those hats back on the head, which I appreciate because they're my thinking caps. They're my thinking caps here. That's not what I wanted. Closes you. Did this build? There it goes. Okay, it builds. Thread. All right, so our thread is just waiting. Our thread is just waiting. This is going to, we did get a posting message. But we got to be able to receive message. So incoming message here. I'm not sure if this is to or from. Why is there an apostrophe after the name of those messages? Did I put an apostrophe somewhere? After the name on those messages? We did receive it in chat, not the code. Oh, there's an apostrophe S. Where is it? Prepare yourself for Captain Hatter. Is it like one of my bot commands? Sorry, I'm so dumb sometimes. I can't see anything. Lazamat's has. That's a good point. That's interesting. I have no control over that. That's like a built-in command. I wonder if there was an update in Firebot. Yeah, that's just part of... Here, let's take a look here. That's just part of Firebot's built-in commands. Has that always been there? Right? So this is... It's literally, I have a currency. And the currency has a built-in... I think it has a built-in. Let's go look. Our commands... Points. Yeah, I don't even have the ability to modify what that command does. It's just associated with our currency. Whoa, that's interesting. I feel like that is a new... I've never noticed that, Smab. That's interesting. System commands, you looked at custom commands. Well, it's part of the... So I have command here. I could, system commands, thank you. Point. Edit. I can modify it. That's interesting. That has the apostrophe S there. I didn't even realize I could modify this. Weird, is that what it is on? So let's do JD. It's on all of them. I wonder if there was an update that added an apostrophe S there.
If you want to feel like you're talking with Captain, let me see if I can do my Captain impression. I am
demerit.
Not the Captain, but my eyebrows also move in a way like the Captain.
I didn't even notice. Thank you so much. I wonder if it's been that way forever and you're the first person to say anything. Okay, there we go. Smab, thank you for pointing it out. What a horrific, I guess not horrific's a strong one. Add Smab for helping us out there. Here's 5,000 points. I know you're just dying to get as many points as you possibly can. No demerits. JD's the only one. I mean, there's a few people that have demerits, but mostly JD. All right, so this thing waits. We can there's an interesting thing here. A networker complete. All right, so let me do that. Posting, we'll have this be, we'll change this button and say send message. This is 5 points. Step 1, order things. Step 2, be home. Step 3, UPS hasn't arrived. Check packaging, none delivered. Thindle, that's what, if you call them, if you call them, what is that? Schrodinger's package. All right. So doing this doesn't actually, so this is saying I receive a message from them. Okay. So I think from Blazor core worker proxy like that. Schrodinger's Thindle, that's right. Folks, before I forget, I want to make sure, I've been meaning to promote this, but we have Captain Coders Learn You a Game Jam coming up. Captain Coders Learn You a Game Jam. I need to promote this a little bit more because it's coming up next month, and we need you to sign up for it. Need you to sign up for it because we're gonna have a lot of fun doing game jam stuff. I need to move this link a little bit higher. Submit your theme suggestions as well for Captain Coders Learn You a Game Jam. 21 days. This thing's coming up really quick. We have an app jam. I was thinking about doing a Captain Coder hackathon. Captain Coder hackathon. So rather than a game jam, it's like you can make a game if you want, but you can make things that aren't game. Walks in, welcome in. Mick Nets, great to see you. But Captain Coders Learn You a Game Jam. Go check it out, folks. Go check it out. Sign up for it. I'm looking forward to this. This is coming up on June 19th, less than a month away. Lots of prizes here. I want you to learn something. I want you to share it with the community, and we're going to have a good old time with it. So please take a chance. Go look at it if you're going to have some time that way. It's 2 weeks, 2 weeks to make something. Does it have to be, you're evaluated on how much you learn and how well you share that with the community, not on whether or not you make an awesome project, which I'm hoping we're still going to get some awesome projects. All right, I think this here is what was causing our error message. So I wasn't able to get the messaging service, so I start that. No, that's okay now. What? Was it that I didn't have a question mark here? You are an awesome project. Thanks, Thindle. Okay. So I want to be able to send a message. So I post a message. All right, so the message I want to post, let's have this be value. Asramont, great question. Welcome into the stream. My goal here, at the end of the day, the thing I want to create is an in-browser Lua interpreter. So a Lua interpreter that runs in the browser without any server backend. So it runs completely client-side in the browser, Lua interpreter. I want to build a website for teaching people how to program in Lua and have interactive Lua scripts and stuff throughout that you can modify, see, and run. That's the end goal. That's the end goal. Currently, I'm trying to make it so that, I have a very simple Lua interpreter here. So this looks horrific, I know, but we can do we can run Lua script, hello, x equals 5, x equals x plus 7, print x. We can do things like this. I run this program. This is Lua. It runs this script. We get this thing down here. Woo, we did it. I want to be able to have students be able to write io.read like this, result equals, and then print result. We could even call it user input or something. I can set the input ahead of time. Hello. So I can set the input ahead of time. And it will get that value, Bob. Okay. And it will run and it'll get it for us. So if I set the input ahead of time, it's good to go. Let's say I want to do another io.read. If I don't have the input ahead of time, I want it to actually, when I do IO.read, I actually want it to, or anything that wants to read user input from standard in, I want a dialog to pop up. I want something to pop up that the user has to type something in. So I want to kind of make a REPL type thing. When I do this, we end up blocking. So it got to this second read and it's like, hey, there's not enough input here. We're waiting for the user to type something. So I'm going to go to sleep. And in the web, we are running on a single thread here. And so the whole program locks. So I can't actually send some messages in. I don't have access to, I don't want to rewrite the Lua interpreter I'm using to be like have an asynchronous read here where it like knows how to sleep on a separate thing. And so I'm looking into using web workers to create a multi-thread that I can actually put the background thread to sleep and then send it messages when input's coming in. So that's what we're working on today, is seeing if we can implement that. So we're doing a little prototype here. It's kind of hard to see exactly what's going on, but I'm doing a little prototype. What did I call this? What page? This is worker. So I have a thread sleeping in the background. So I can click test here and you'll see there's a thread running in the background. It's sleeping and I don't get blocked here. Now I'm working on sending that thread messages so that I can update that thread. That's what I'm working on now, is being able to send it messages. Yeah, so right now, that's what I want to be able to do. Worker dot message. Yeah, so I can get messages from it. So my question now is message service.incoming message. Is this going to get a message? Here. Yeah, so I have found that the more hats I have, the more powerful my code becomes. I have no, this is just an idea that I have. It's my own personal experience. Is the more hats up, and once I get to around 20 hats, it becomes a little bit unstable. It's too many hats, too powerful. And so my code becomes so powerful, it destroys myself. So I got to be careful. We limit ourselves to the number of hats. But yes, that has been my experience. All right, so post a message to our worker. I'm wondering if this, I'm trying to figure out these messages. Do beanies count as hats? I don't have any hats. I do count my beanies as hats, yes. Observer Herb, I count my beanies as hats. All right, I'm still not, when I post this message, the question is like, where is that going? Where is that going? Well, I can do a console.writeLine sent. And then we'll say value. So we know what we sent. Posting message, and then we'll say what value we sent here. And I might not be sending it to the right thing. Worker might be the wrong thing. I might need to do it on this message service. I think I need to do it on this messenger server. Miss Pixie, holy cannoli, welcome back to the stream. It's so wonderful to see you folks. If you guys want to watch an incredible developer learning programming, I've seen you work on C#. I've seen Miss Pixie work on C#. I've seen Miss Pixie work in JavaScript. Miss Pixie, how the heck have you been? What are you up to on this fine, beautiful Wednesday? I hope you're having a beautiful day. Thank you so much for that. If you got a raid and run, no worries. I know how it be, but thank you so much for popping in. Thank you so much for being here. Just to make sure that value is actually sending. Okay, so it actually is getting all the way through the await. So I think it is actually sending it there. No worries. Enjoy your food. Enjoy your food. I'm a little jealous. I can't eat for a few more hours. I'm doing intermittent fasting. So I have to wait not that much longer. 2 hours. I can eat in 2 hours. I'm excited for that. let me try one more thing here. Private. Yeah, I'm not sure where that is going. I'm gonna try it on my iWorker message. Let's change this to iWorker message service. And rather than setting, this is gonna be a var worker. So I'm not quite sure what that is doing there. Do a worker here. And once I get my message service, I'm gonna do worker. I should rename this to message service. Message service. So we can do an assignment to it there. Coaxed. How's it going, friend? Great to see you. And Azramon, it's great to have you here. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Long time no build. We better get that fixed here. Control-Shift-B. Get a build going for you. Coax. There we go. Build. It was successful. TypeScript lately. Very nice. Azramon, thank you so much for the follow. Azramon, thank you for following the captain's crew now. Azramon, thank you for following me. Almost messed that one up. It messed it up a little bit. Azramon, thank you so much for that. Fasting sounds dangerous. That's like trying to commit Sudoku. Sudoku for parts of the day. Food is love. Yeah, no. So what's interesting, I've been kind of enjoying it. Rust was too complex for me, so I'll stick to a mixture of Scala and TypeScript. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Rust looks super fun to play. Super fun to play with. Rust isn't a game. Rust is a way of life, folks. Let's see if this boots up. Waiting. Send message. I don't know how to get a message to my background service. Can receive messages from my background service. I want to send messages to it. That is interesting. Where is this message going? What is happening with this message here? Typo on line 1. Incoming. Did I spell one of these words wrong? Where's my typo? That's okay. I'm not too worried about it. And is incoming spelled with one M? Incoming. Probably. Why does my brain, that looks so weird to me. You are correct. You are correct. Why does my brain want it to be 2 M's? Com. It looks wrong to me. It's so weird. You're correct. Ooh. It makes sense though. Incoming. Yeah. Thank you. It's like that. It's the more M's, the better. That's right. You need more M's. One wrong vowel away from a... Yeah. We'll be careful with that. We'll be careful with that. Well, I was thinking like communication, right? So com, C-O-M-M, as in communication or intercom. I think that's... It still looks weird to me. Sometimes your brain be like that though, right? Sometimes it do be like that. How do I post? I don't know where this message is going. It's true. It's totally true. Message service dot. All right, I need to read a little bit more about this. Turns a message to be used by the underlying worker. Register an event listening to the specified event. Post message. Serialization. Expressions are being serialized in this way. The exception message may begin with this. Set up your service. Expression serializer. The normal use case. To communicate with the worker from Blazor using messages, the lower level, most level of communication, accept messages from iWorker poster and provides messages using iWorker incoming message. Yeah, we are coding in C# using Razor. In a Blazor application, Razor templates for displaying our front end. See the core example. Snabble, wonderful to have you here. Nerd Dragon, Swee, great to see you as well. Hope you're having a beautiful day. My music sound, is my music being weird for everyone here? I might just turn my music off. It's like being all glitchy. It could just be my Bluetooth, but I'm assuming you guys are hearing the weird glitchiness on the music. You might not be hearing the music at all. It's pretty quiet. DJ, welcome back to the stream. Great to see you. Okay. Worker, we're gonna wait. It's balanced? Okay. I keep hearing like weird glitchy bumps in the music. I don't know how to explain it aside from like skips. It's like an old CD sounds like it got scratched a little bit. Background service created. Create an instance. Calling estimate. Post message. I might have to take this and just pull it in here. Probably coax, yeah. We're gonna be careful. It's a PG-11 stream, so I'm gonna be careful with what language comes in here. But yeah, I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. If Medjas starts with this. Starts with that. So my question is, a pain? Pain, P-A-I-N, is probably a good substitute for that word. Snapple says, did a new window terminal shader? It might be a bit too colorful, but if you want to take a look, to be a 10x dev who makes sacrifice, let's check it out. I always love the stuff you do with shader toy. Where's my enhance button? Yo, look at this. This is gorgeous. This is great. It looks like the Atari. Maybe that's not what you're going for. It looks kind of like the Atari logo. Oh, I love it. Snabble. Snabble with the shaders. Oh, it is the Atari logo. That makes sense. I was like, it looks just like the Atari logo. Intensico, that's horrible. How dare you have the Atari logo? This is beautiful. Oh, of course, Atari Windows Terminal shader. Yeah. So if I had just read, if I used my eyes to see, I was like, wow, it looks just like the Atari logo. Thank you for sharing this with us, Snabble. Beautiful. Did you know that all Americans already know the metric system? This is not true. It's all about base 10. What is it? 10 cents in a dime, 10 dimes in a dollar, $10 in an average American savings account. Thindle with the jabs. Thindle's with the jabs. I know nothing about the metric system. We mostly work in, we measure things in mouthfuls, handfuls, crabfuls. Oh, we got to go back. Let's unenhance. There we go. You guys were seeing the full, this is what my screen actually looks like. And you guys are typically limited, with my new monitor, I limit you guys to this section of the screen here. This section. This is the visible section. Let's unenhance. There we go. That way you guys don't have to see all the stuff isn't so tiny for you. Dehance. Yeah, we need to have enhance and dehance. Okay. How do I get these? Let's look at this example one more time. I feel so close. I feel like I'm so close. The worker here should be what we register on. Why is that suddenly not working? Oh, 1M. 1M. This would be our worker. Worker dot. What are we posting the message? Await post message here. Okay, post the message there. You found a committed secret. Oh no, that's always a bad sign. That's always bad. That's always bad. You gotta start redoing it. We had an intern once commit like a secret for that we had to, and then we had to do an audit and change. Yeah, modify the history of the project and stuff to get rid of the secret. I remember that being quite an ordeal. It wasn't that bad. It was just you have to go change it everywhere. Yeah, exactly. It was in the history, so we had to go through. We had to. There was a big tool that we used to rewrite the history. Yeah, so we invalidated and then we rewrote the history as well. There's actually, it wasn't even something you could invalidate, right? So I guess you could. Yeah, it was actually it was a password that someone should not have given to the intern that they committed. So it wasn't like a token, it was actually like someone's password, and the password was the dumbest thing. It contained like personal information. It was ridiculous. Anyway, I'm not gonna blame anyone, but it wasn't my fault. That's all. That's my story, and that's what I'm sticking to. Message service was worker. Let's get rid of that. Essentially, yes. So we could go change the password, but it was also like the owner of the companies. I was crazy. I was like, why? And it was used for everything the owner of the company used it everywhere, even for their personal stuff. It was ridiculous. So yes, we had to go rewrite the history. We couldn't just invalidate it. Because it was like, well, I use it everywhere and I don't know all the places I use it. So hopefully we got it, but it was, for our application it was fine, but for them it was not so good. We had to go erase it from the history, of course. Why would you give the intern that is the biggest way I feel about it. I don't know why I cannot. Posting the message doesn't do anything. Jowco7M, Jowco, Joeco. Thank you for following me. And thank you for the follow. Great to have you here. Is it because we're awaiting here? Oh, this might be something. Go look at their example again. So this click does several things. They are waiting here. Options. Options, add conventional assembly service. Output equals background service created. So we have a background. This creates a background service. This runs. I'm wondering. If I do this, can I send? Still doesn't receive anything. Init worker complete. Instance complete. So I want to reference that live outside of the current scope should not be passed into the expression to circumvent this. Create a scope local variable like this and pass the local variable. Okay, let's try something. Set value. So it'll be waiting equals false. Are these, if I run asynchronous, it's the same worker, so it's the same service, but can I run a separate thing or does it have to wait for it? All right, so this is giving us back iWorker background service. All right, so I need this full type out here. I wish I could copy paste from this section. iWorker background service. Background service. And then let's go ahead and import this. Okay, that's what service is. I want one of these to reference elsewhere. So my question becomes, can I call waiting updated? I don't think this will work, but I'm curious if it will. If I don't think it's going to work, this would be if service is null. Starting task. So we might be able to send the message like that. And let's come in here. Console.writeLine exited thread. Exited loop. Yeah, so they're like independent. They're independent. Or it's not finishing. Oh, it didn't finish. Yeah, it's waiting for... Yeah, so that makes sense. We can't do them both at the same time. If I don't start this... How do you get the front end team to care? You can't. Okay. So I can send it. The service is a complete, like its own isolated thread that is single threaded. Maybe I can't do what I want. The message still doesn't get received the way I kind of would expect it to. What I want to do may not be possible. It may just not be possible to do what I want. It's a little disappointing. So I want it to send a message. Still don't know why I'm not receiving. Might need to take this whole example. The joy, yeah. It's like the audit process, right? You're going through an audit essentially, removing all the things that are not working, or not have to go through the audit process. And say, okay, what needs to be changed? It's a major pain. Handle. I don't know how to send, like, my messages just aren't being received. This isn't doing any sort of run asynchronous. Run async, yeah. So it's not quite Alright, this one's doing a run async. Alright, let's look and see if this... Create background service. I may... Sorry for the silence here. I'm really focused. I'm really trying to figure out how to, if I can do what I want. Okay, register event listener. Is it the case that how do I send a message? What is this really doing? My worker. My background service. Register an event. This is... Maybe I don't know enough about web workers to fully be able to grok this. I can pass the scope in. but I need to have no idea how to send a message. When I do this post message, where is it going? Let's see if we can just get a post message working. All right, let's look at this example here. This one is not the one I want. This one's a core example. Core example. So we're going to create a worker from our worker factory. What is worker factory? Okay, that's being injected. Worker factory. Let's clear out this here. I'm going to create one called let's rename this create worker. Create worker. Okay. And this is going to do this. Oh, does this need to be... There was something about them I remember reading something. I'm surprised it was working. Why is this? Oh, mine's called this. Okay, on incoming message. I'll call this on worker message. Okay. And we'll do a console.writeLine creating worker created. Okay. Then we'll have one for creating the background service. Create core instance service. So this is different. Where is worker.create core instance service? That's interesting. All right, so let's create one. Save task. create background service. And I want this to essentially do this. Background service is an iCore instance service. There is not a create instance service. Just to create background service. So the API maybe has changed here. Create core instance service. An iWorker, okay. But that is definitely not a method we have. Any worker.create. Yeah, that's all we have here. Using factory. So this looks like maybe it's out of date. Create async. Yeah, I don't have that method. It's interesting that I have very few methods here. Handle, instance handle. Let's try this. I have to specify a type, which I was previously in my CPU intensive. This is what I had previously. Creating background service. Service created. So this one had a create instance. Sorry, service.create. Yeah. I'm wondering if what do they do with handle here? Handle. This just has the run async on it. Okay. We'll have this for creating the background. Create worker. Create background service. Just trying to understand and break it down step by step so I understand it better. Like when are messages being passed? Worker.post message. See, this is the interesting part. Let's go look at core math services. Okay. This has an on message. I'm wondering, okay, when this thing... I think this is the step I'm missing. I need an iWorker message service here. In this. Let's see here. Public. My CPU intended. Let's call it. We're going to change this name. Simple service. And we'll have it taken an iWorker message service. Message service. Message service equals like that. When we construct it, we get one. And then we'll register private void on message object sender string message. And we will console right line simple service dot on message from sender and then message. I think this seems to be the step. This is why I was a little confused earlier too. It seemed like we were registered in the wrong spot. Incoming message on message. Okay. It's like creating a math server and sending it to. All right. Let's. All right, so we're going to create a background service. Now let's create one more button. It's like a start thread. Start loop. Start loop. Okay. And let's create that down here. Public async task start loop. And this is going to be our service dot run async. And s dot my method. We'll call this method. We're going to rename this method to loop. Oh, it returns an imp. Rename this loop. Complaining that I didn't put int here. Await results. Oh, it takes in a parameter. Let's get rid of this. Sorry. Int result equals await here. And then we'll report it. Result was result. We'll do a starting loop. interesting that it's not complaining that worker could be null here. Same with the service. That's okay. And then let's add in a send message. All right, so send message. I'm not sure where to send it, but we'll try worker again. I honestly think it's service. I think it's this. Test message. Sending a message. We'll just add in a couple things here. Say if service or is equal to null, return. Can make it throw an exception too. Send message. If service is null, if our service is null. Okay. Let's try this. That build? Create worker. Create background service. I'm not getting any output on create background service. Oh, this should be if worker is not null. Create worker. Background service create. Simple service. Okay, we are receiving this test message now. Well, it's running. We can't receive it while it's running, it looks like. Ugh. Can send it there. Oh, that's so annoying. So I don't think I can do what I want to do. That's too bad. That's too bad. Disappointing. It kind of makes sense, though. Because this is running on its own thread. Can you have shared web worker, shared state, shared memory? Yeah, I want there to be shared state between the threads. I don't know if I can do it with this library. Let's look at, what was the other one? This here. I know, Snabble, I know. I need to, well, so it's like I want a concurrent queue. I need to be able to put data in a queue for one thread. So one thread is like, you know, a consumer and one is a producer. So I want to do consumer producer. And so I want a concurrent queue that I can write into when the user gives us input, and then the thread that's processing. No, we definitely don't want to do lockless. That's just insanity. That's just insanity. All right, so we can do. Okay, use with the shared array buffer and array buffer. So I don't think we can do it with this one. Or at least it doesn't seem to even claim it. This one was claiming it has it. Are there multi-threaded lockless dictionaries? I know Java has a concurrent dictionary, but it has atomic put and put operations, doesn't it? How do they do the atomic put? Is it built directly into the JVM? That's fascinating. All right, I think we're gonna try it with this one. Yeah, so we have this thing called the shared array. This async method returns an instance of a shared array that given name accessible by all Blazor instances the worker has created, and if it does not already exist. Okay. Caverly, welcome in. You implement it using atomic compare and swap, then your brain explodes. That sounds accurate. All right, we're gonna try using this guy here. Members are separate instances of your Blazor WASM app running in workers. These instances are called into using post message. It looks like I'm not going to be able to do what I want to do here anyway. I think sadly I cannot do what I want to do. Let's look at shared. Another window with the same will return the same shared web worker. So we can report information. But I cannot receive information while I am running or something. This one's much more annoying to get set up because we have stuff like this. Feel like we're so close. It feels like we're so close. I may just actually have to go modify our Lua interpreter to have an await. It'll allow me to block. All right, I need to take a quick break. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna get myself a little bit more coffee, a little bit more water. What do I want to say? To help ease the pain of realizing I don't think I can do what I want to do here. I'll be back. Irad, I trust you. You're in charge, Irad. Don't go anywhere. And when Irad's in charge, I'll be right back. All right, everybody, we're back. Oh, my hat box is too far away. Just in case, got to get that a little bit closer. All right, everybody, we're back. I'm a little bit sad. Well, I'm gonna play around with this in just like a pure JavaScript way. See if I'm pretty sure I can get it to work in just JavaScript. Mendoza, welcome back to the stream. Hope you're having a beautiful day. It's great to see you. Irad, it's also wonderful to see you. Thank you for taking care of everybody while I was gone. We're gonna switch gears here. Let's switch gears here. Yeah. We're going to switch gears a little bit. Let me change. What are we going to do instead? This isn't going to work for us. So instead, I think we have some options. One thing that we could work on is slopes and loops. I was thinking maybe playing with Godot a little bit. Godot C#. So we made this slopes and loops in Unity. All right, so I understand now how to do the slopes and loops stuff in Unity. I was thinking I might play around with creating a version in Godot C#, which I haven't touched Godot in C# in a while, but I think I might check that out. I think that could be really fun to look at, and see if we can get our do another version in Godot. Maybe even do GD script. I'm not sure, but I'm not familiar with Godot, so it'd be nice to understand the nuances, the differences between the two personally, just to have a C# version in Godot. So I think that's what we'll work on here for a little bit. So we got some time left. Let's go find Godot. I think I have Godot already installed. Let me go find it real quick. Bear with me. Mendoza, I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for coming by. Godot. Yeah, here is Godot. I want Godot Mono. Maybe I should get the later version of it. What version is the most? I could just download it. Godot's so lightweight. Godot. I thought this might be fun to do. 4.2.2. Okay, that's the version I have. All right, so we'll go ahead and launch that. And this is me I know next to nothing about Godot. Use Winget to install stuff. That's probably a good way to do it as well, having that package manager. Here's our Godot. I'm gonna try creating a new project in Godot here. Let's try not to reveal anything too sensitive. It's just me practicing good things here. Let's create a repository for it. Let's create a repository for it. I think I already have a repository. Yeah, let's just add it to our existing repository. Hang on. I gotta know, like, what is the Godot? What do we do for Godot? Let's go to our Git, Captain Coder, slopes and loops, impl, and then we're going to create a new folder called Godot 2D. We'll select it there. Slopes and loops. I did not make this. I believe this is a finite singularity. Finite singularity did this one. Let's see. Let's go ahead and create this. Yeah, so that blur effect is finite singularity. I believe they made it. And Todd, welcome back to the stream. Hope you're having a beautiful day. We're going to play with Godot a little bit. And I am such a novice with Godot. Definitely help me out. But I am doing Godot C#. So maybe I should do GD script, Godot GD script, because I've never really done that. But, you know me and my C#. I like the C# folks. Let's see what that. Let's create a script here. I'm gonna create a folder. This might not be the conventional way to do stuff in Godot. All right, we have a 2D scene, and I want to add in a couple things here. Nice try, Todd. I only have the power. The power is mine and mine alone. Create a new folder. Call this sprites. That'd be fun, huh? If anyone could turn it on or off. We're gonna open this up here. I'm gonna put I have some sprites I want to use here. All right, so these are currently in Unity, not Unity 3D, but we have a slopes Unity 2D, assets, sprites. We're gonna add in some of these same ones here. So let's start with just a simple slope. See if it'll let me. Can I drag that in like that? I can. Awesome. Slope that way. We have a flat. And then we'll do slope 1 like that. Slope 1. Create a little up, create a little down. But my goal here is to see if I can use Godot's physics to implement the same thing I want here. All right, so I want to add in a circle. Did we get a circle? Do I have to create? I want to create a character. General purpose sprite. Can I just do I have to provide a little circle sprite? So that's something that is kind of nice that we get in Unity, is I can add those things in. I would be surprised if we couldn't just add in, yeah. I want to just add in a little circle. Do I have to make a circle sprite? Okay, let's do that. I'll make a little circle sprite. That's easy. Where's Inkscape? Do I not have Inkscape open? We'll get a copy of Inkscape going here. Oh, let me change the title of my stream too. Slopes and loops in Godot. Let's give it a shot. All right, so I'm gonna create a little player sprite for us to use. They're just gonna be a circle. Like that. Oh, thank you, Smab. We should change that too. What text? Do I have one already set up here? We'll just change this. We are working on an implementation of Sonic-inspired slopes and loops for mechanically challenged. We'll put a link to mechanically challenged there. Boom. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's true. Oh, I was making a player sprite here. Let's go ahead and have our player set stroke like that. And we give them a light blue. All right, that's gonna be our player. Export. Let's make sure we have the right DPI. All right, there we go. We'll export this as and put this in our, here, we're gonna call this circle. Probably didn't export as a PNG. It likes to, it's a weird little bug there. I should probably update to the latest version of Inkscape. I bet they have resolved that by now. Okay, let's add in that sprite here. Like that. Can I just add you to the scene? I can. Okay, so we can do stuff like that. Circle. I want this to be player controlled, so I want to create a little player controller for it. I'm not quite sure how to do that. I also want this to be a surface. So I'm imagining I need to add in like some kind of, you know, rigid body type thing. I don't know how that works. But I'm going to want to attach a script. I'm not sure if I need to add child node or just add additional properties to it. Node. This is kind of cool to see these things in here. Let's go look up Godot rigid body. All right, so we have this idea of a rigid body. Okay, so can I just add a rigid body? What do I do to make this? Implements full 2D physics. All right, so do I add a node? Rigid body 2D? I don't know what this says. This node has no shape, so it can't collide and interact. I'm wondering if I need to put it above like this. Circle, or is there a collider? Collision shape, okay. Polygon. What does this say? Must provide a collision shape 2D. Oh, now let's see if we can find that. Godot circle collider 2D. You can define a shape of a physics body 2D by adding one or more collision shapes. Circle shape 2D. Ah, okay, so it's called circle shape. Circle. Well, when I search for circle, interesting. How do I do that? Do I specify? Oh, please do, Irad. I'm very, very new to it. Backseat coding is totally welcome here. I want to make a circle collider for this thing. We are a backseat coding is always welcome unless I say not. Has a shape field in the inspector. Okay, so collision shape. Ah, here we go. Thank you. New circle shape. Okay. It's awfully small. Now, how would I go about modifying it? Goob, welcome into the stream. Great to see you. How could I make this radius? There it is. I want... There, okay, so I need to adjust. I can grab this dial. All right, there we go. There's our collision. Perfect. And then I'm gonna add this circle inside here, like that. Next, I want to add in a collision shape to this, I believe. That's sort of what I want to have happen, yeah. So if it's anything like Unity Rigid Body, yeah, Smab, I'm just really bad at all this stuff. It's hard for me to, usually I do okay. So the reason I don't really do it, Smab, and maybe I should do more, is when I was looking at the analytics on that stuff, on like what tags are, it was like no one uses the tags. Very, very few people. All right, so you're saying that my flat here needs a static body? I was gonna add a static body. Okay. So probably want to do it that way. And then this would be a collision shape 2D. And then this would be a rectangle. And I could grow it out like this. Very little organic searching on this platform. It's mostly who's on top. Yeah, so I think that is one of the places I think Twitch could probably benefit. That said, it's like a really hard. I don't know. Yeah. So I think of like YouTube has their algorithm. All right. So let's see what happens. My unsaved scene. This, let's call this slopes. Our main scene. Main. I don't have a controller, but I'm hoping that when I run this, there we go. All right, that's what I wanted. That's what I want. So we do our best, right? We do our best. All right, I want to add a controller. So Hyper, I think it isn't possible to do what I want. I need to have shared state between our threads. And I don't think that's possible because what was happening, even with message passing, if that worker is in the middle of doing something, it doesn't receive the message. It doesn't receive the message. So I'm gonna try and do it in some free time. Maybe I should do it on stream. I was gonna see if I could get it to work in a pure JavaScript context first. There is something called a shared data array in JavaScript. The library we were using doesn't provide an interface to access that. So I'm gonna see if I can get it working in a pure JavaScript context first. And if just to have a proof of concept, if that will work, I might look for some alternative solutions or may end up implementing something on my own. That said, it may just be simpler for me from a work standpoint to implement it as a traditional web app rather than a Blazor web app. Because there are some really good Lua interpreters written in JavaScript. So that's probably the easiest thing. I just am such a .NET fanboy right now. So I thought we'd check this out. This is another thing I've kind of been wanting to play around with. Let's create a new script. I'm gonna call this my player. I want this to be, maybe I should do GD script, but we're gonna go with C# here. I think I set this up to be a C# project. We'll find out. We'll call this player movement controller. All right, so player movement controller. All right, so this is open up in Visual Studio Code, which is essentially what I want. And so is there, in Godot, do we have so in Unity, we have sort of like a physics update, and then we have a non-physics update. Process equals update. Do we have a physics update? So there's like fixed update. So there's a method public override void fixed or physics update. There we go. Okay, so probably gonna have to do it in physics because I'm gonna interact with the physics system. So I'm assuming we have to do that. Raccoon Games, welcome back to the stream. Okay. I want to get a reference to, I want to add this, we'll call this my, I want to get a reference to this rigid body. Yeah, I want to get a reference to this rigid body, so can I apply physics to it? When we update, I want to see, like, how do I get my keys pressed to like an input? There is, get axis. So in Unity, I would do this, get axis horizontal. I'm not sure if this is the axis, how we would do it here. String name, string name. Let's go look at this method. Negative action, positive action. Get axis input by specifying two actions, one for negative, one for positive. Ooh, interesting, interesting. In project settings, okay. They're just strings, input map. Oh, so I have to explicitly define these. So Unity has like some default ones called horizontal, left, like, so I could say left and right are some values. So we get none by default. UI left, okay. So it would be UI left, UI right. UI left, UI right. Show default and tab will show them to you. Let's go look again. Sorry, project settings. Show built-in actions. Gotcha. Left, right. Great. That's what I want. I didn't want to have to define anything special. Left and right. Science, it's great to see you, my friend. How the heck have you been? Folks, be sure to go check out Science streams. Incredible science communicator. Valent, I hope you've been well. We're playing around. I'm doing absolutely wonderful this morning. Any day I can wake up code is a beautiful day, and today is no different. Let's add this player movement controller. Does that mean the script is attached to this thing? All right. Is there a debug.log? So I just want to do a float movement. Really, I want this. I want to have a private float movement input. Movement input like that. And what I want to say is, if I do a console.writeLine, will this just come out, or is there a debug that I want to do? Let's run a build here. I'm wondering if I'm going to get this output, or if there's a special output. Do I have to? So console. It doesn't look like I'm getting gd.print. Okay. Let's do gd.print. This is so good for me because I've been wanting to play around with Godot a little bit more. Did I update my? There we go. I did. Me either. I read me. Neither do I. This is a fun thing. This is what I say. Like maybe I should actually do this with GD script, just so I can know. I haven't done anything with GD script. That's not entirely true. I've done a little bit. All right, 0, 0, 0. Okay, so it's actually the left arrow, right arrow. All right, there we go. -1, 1, and I bet it would work with a controller by default as well. All right, so I get this input here. I want to have an access to a rigid body. So this rigid body that I'm attached to, in Unity, we have like an add force method. I know I'm attached to a rigid body. In my ready, I want to say, go ahead and cache that in here. And I don't know how to access that. So anyhow, so in Unity, there's like this idea of a get component. Get node. Gotcha. You can get node or you can use export. Very cool. Nefarian, welcome to the stream. Get node rigid body 2D. So I want to, is this how this would look? Node path. What do I put in for my node path? Fetch the node can be either relative. Is this thing happen to be a node path? This dot node. Something, can I just give it a this? You put the name. So if it is this thing, so it's the thing I'm in, node path is relative path from the node to the node you want. So it's actually attached to the node itself. This thing is a rigid body. I could do this, right? I could explicitly say, well, this has to be on a rigid body 2D. Yeah. But I don't necessarily need to do that. I could say that, well, this happens. I don't know if that is like the canonical way. And in Unity, it's like components, right? You have a game object and you use the components, whereas these are like subclass. And Nefarian, thank you for the follow today on this beautiful Wednesday. Thank you for the follow, Nefarian. Welcome to the stream. But for get node, yeah, so that's what I'm trying. Like I'm trying to wrap my brain around a little bit, and that's what it seems to be here. This should return a rigid body, right? So I want to cache rigid body. So I kind of want to do this. Rigid body equals like this. If you accept from array, you should get all the class methods. So I don't necessarily want to do that. I kind of am imagining I might have like a parent component of this. I could do it that way though, I suppose. This, I want to be able to put it on different objects, I think. So let me ask a question. If I had a parent node, can I add a parent? Is there an easy way to add a parent above this? So if I did something like this, right, this is just player. So this is just a regular node. Right, but imagine I have this, right? So I have this player, and the player has this inside of it. And I put my script on player here. How would I get it then? I could do it that way, right? So I know that this thing's gonna have a rigid body inside. And inside the parameter, you put the path. For example, if the script is attached to player node, rigid body path B. Okay. So if this was, all right, so I think if I did this, let's remove this script. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Clear? All right. So if I had it here, I would say here, this would be like rigid. That's interesting. Body 2D. So this would say go find it on the node. I feel like almost this feels almost better. Let's do a build. Where now I have a reference and I could drag this in here like that. That feels almost better. So I could do this, right? So my question sort of now is, if I move this rigid body, does my player component move with it? I don't know. I'm assuming not. Copy node path. So my question is, if I wanted to reuse this script on multiple things, it's saying that, well, I have to have a component inside with that specific name, right? So if I want to make this script reusable, I would need to say, okay, well, I can't just say it has a rigid body. It has to have a rigid body with a very specific name. Okay, awesome. I read. That's perfect. That's perfect. I like that. Everything in Unity kind of has a position. All right. So I have this rigid body. I suppose I could do something like debug assert that the rigid body is set. Yeah, that's what I'm doing here. Export. Yeah, Nefarian, that's sort of like the idea of a prefab, right? In Unity. In Godot, it's a little bit different. All right, UI left. Now in my physics update, I want to say, really, I'm going to do rigid body dot, and I'm hoping there's apply force. Okay. And then this is sort of what I want to have happen. Apply force. Vector 2 force. What time is this? Like a Godot vector 2? Yeah. I kind of, do we have a vector 2 dot right? And we're gonna find that this isn't quite what I want. Times movement input times delta. Ooh, I can't do this. Can I put it on this end? So I know that technically this would be faster in Unity. How do I scale a vector? Oh, an import. Okay, so this is set. So it's interesting. Apply force. Applies a position force. A force is time dependent, meant to be applied every physics update. So it's because this is a double. Thank you. Thank you. Interesting. There we go. So I need to apply an impulse that applies a directional impulse without affecting rotation. We're sure that apply force sets the speed. So if I'm not pressing anything, I think this is what I want. If this works the way I think it does, let's go look at the documentation. Applies a positioned force to the body. A force at a time-dependent position is the offset from the body and the global coordinate. So you're saying this sets the speed, or does it? It should, in my mind, it would actually add it to an existing force based on some other stuff. I'm gonna check here. Let's see here. I probably need a bigger platform. Nothing. Did I not build? Hang on. Is this update not happening? I don't know. I don't know. They have to be big. Oh, I also didn't. All right. Yeah, I forgot. All right. I'm curious if I can do this. Public float acceleration factor. Can I do this in Godot? Can I export this, or does it have to be a field? Question. So Unity does provide me with like a field thing. I can say something like this. Can I export properties to the inspector? Let's find out. We'll do a build. Oh, look at that. Very nice. It works on properties. I love that. I love that. Okay. Oh, and I need to have my acceleration factor in here. Henry! Good old Henry. How you doing, friend? Welcome back to the stream. Great to see you. I hope you're having a beautiful day. All right. I guess I could make it. We're going. Look at us. Look at us. Slowly, that acceleration factor. Can I edit this? So here's a question. Can I edit this? I can. So we can live edit it. Nice. I want to go ahead and add in like 1,000. As part of my story, I've been using Unreal more. Not a fan of it. What don't you like about it? I haven't used Unreal at all. The blueprints look really quite nice. There we go. So I think I'm going to go ahead and add in an automatic times 100 on this, right? So I don't want to have to type in 500,000 or whatever to get the acceleration I want. So what I'm going to do is, this is what I'm curious about this private float acceleration factor. I'm curious if I can make these methods and our export will still work. I'm curious if this will still work in this way. So get is going to be acceleration factor divided by 100. And set is going to be acceleration factor equals value. I'm curious if this will still work. Took me almost an hour to add text that goes down when the player takes aim. What wait, is that Warhammer behind you? I don't have any Warhammer stuff, but I have a bunch. My game shelf is behind me though. We do have some board games back there, just a few. I don't have any Warhammer though. Biggs, how we doing, friend? Hope you're having a beautiful day. All right, so let's curiosity here. Check it out. Biggs, how the heck are you doing? How's your project coming along? If I set this to 100, I'm curious It seems to still let me set this stuff. All right, it doesn't seem to actually... Oh, I had to click away. Okay, so having this be a backed field property doesn't work. Doesn't seem to work. I was just curious. I wanted to test it out. So having it as a backed property doesn't seem to do what I would expect, what I would want it to do. Which is fine. Which is fine. I can still do get set like this. And what we'll do is we're just gonna have this be, you know, multiplier. And so I'm gonna have this multiplied by multiplier. So these numbers don't have to be massive, right? You took a day off. I know you decided to do it in hard mode. You decided to do it in hard mode. I ended up doing a 3D version of it as well. This was fun. So I did a 3D version. It made me want to make a skating game. So I did a 3D version of my slopes. I didn't do loops because loops in 3D felt really challenging, but I did do slopes in 3D, which was super fun. So this is super fun to do. I'm working on my Godot skills now. I'm trying to do it in Godot. Well, I will say the 3D one was actually quite challenging because I had to brush up on my linear algebra, my matrix. So the way I do it is kind of interesting. I'll talk about that on Saturday. Folks, don't forget to check out Mechanically Challenged. We'll be doing a new challenge next month, but slopes and loops was a challenge this month. So my Unity version informed a lot of my decisions there, but I'm playing around with it now here. All right, so my multiplier. We're trying to Godot C# build. Next month, make a pause video for mounts. You know, I feel a little bad. I didn't expect this challenge to be so, ooh, too fast. I didn't expect this challenge to be so difficult for, so I'm trying to be not braggadocious. Oh man. Now, it didn't actually set this value, I think, until I press enter. I had an idea of how to approach this challenge, is what I'll say. I had an idea of how to approach this challenge. The ratio of mechanic to challenge is a little biased, yeah. So I felt like my approach essentially worked out of the gate. And so it wasn't too challenging for me. That said, everyone has different challenges, right? Holy cannoli, Risky Biscuit, how we doing, friend? All right, I want to add in a thing here so we know which direction is up. Risky Biscuit, thank you so much for the raid. How is your stream? What are you working on? What have you been working on? Tell us all about it. I gotta know. I gotta know. I want to do a line from the center. Why can't I draw a line? Why is it wanting to do weird things? Am I not on the line drawing tool? I'm not on the line drawing tool. There we go. Wanted to draw a line like that just to have it. Why is the line so thick? There we go. Just so we know which direction is up. All right, and we'll export this again as our circle. Did that export here? Do I have to re-import my circle here? Queen Anne, welcome into the stream. How you doing? Mostly fiddle with my colors, my loading screen. So impactful stuff. Gotcha. Gotcha. Very impactful stuff, indeed. Folks, if you guys don't know Risky Biscuit Games, give them some love. Risky Biscuit Games is working on such a cool game. How is SOS coming along? The game where you learn Morse code to play the game. Really awesome stuff. Working on tutorial and story intro now. Very cool. Very cool. Let's, can I replace, if I drag this in, does it replace? There we go. I just want to make sure my up is here. I think it might be rotating this, right? I don't want it to actually, yeah, it rotates when I move. I don't actually want it to rotate. Is there a way to lock a... All right, constants. I would like to lock. Rigid body has a lock. Awesome. Deactivation, lock rotation. There it is. That's what I'm looking for. All right. Now, oh, what's interesting is now I can't move. My force is probably gonna have to be way higher to move or something. Yeah. All right. Because I've locked the rotation, it like has, yeah. All right. Let's add in a few more things, in here. I want to add in a slope. Can I make this snap to the scene? Question. Does anyone know how to make? Is there a button I can press? Shift seems to snap. I want to do that. I want to move this whole thing. I want to move this as a whole. All right, shift seems to snap, but I want to make it so you can override the physical material as well. Top bar, okay. Grid snap, okay. Snapping options. All right, so now this should work. All right, because these are all sized in a very specific way. Very cool. Okay, so can I duplicate this and apply a negative scale here? Can I do a -1? I guess that's not what I really wanted. And my Y, I want a -1. 1. Ooh, they're locked. That's what's going on. All right, so I want a -1 there. Like that. Okay, I can lock the children and make them move together. Cool. Let's delete that node. I want to add in a polygon collider to this. Static body. All right, there's not. If you select static, you can lock the children so they move together. Lock button on the toolbar. Lock. Oh, still moved. Oh, I must have to lock these. Confused. Is it that I want to group them together? There we go. Ah, so this is the group. So I group them together. Thank you for that. All right, let's add in. So this needs a static body. All right, this is our flat. Let's create it's interesting, static body. And really I guess I could do it that way. Would that be the normal way to do it? I'm gonna put it inside. Let's add in a collision polygon. Okay. And gonna work with something like prefab. You can right click on the subtree and make it a new scene. Yeah, I had seen that before. Ah, I see. I see here. All right, so now. Thank you for the hat, lads. Let's get another hat on this stack. Boom. Practical. How you doing, friend? Welcome to the stream. We're in Godot land today. We're doing, why, my hat feels so weird. Something weird about that hat. Practical NPC, how you been, friend? It's great to see you. We are doing a little bit of Godoting. We're Godoting around. I'll bring this down here. Okay, a little too far. Okay, so we have that. And then I was gonna duplicate this. duplicate. And then I wanted to transform this one on the X to be a -1. And then shift it over. All right, so these become a... Suppose really it's that those are grouped, but let's group these. Like that. Snap it to our grid. Okay. Remember to not eat raw Godot? Look, I love me some raw cookie Godot. Okay. Let's try this. Okay. Okay, so now, how do I shift? All right, I probably want to make it so that my camera follows the player. I don't know how to do that yet. Very cool, but we have this. Moving faster than I want, so let's slow it down. Let's see if we can get the speed feeling right. Let's try 1,000. There we go. We start moving up. I need to add in like a max velocity at some point, but now it doesn't move too fast. As I'm going up a curve, yeah, so when you click on it, it's actually selecting the whole group of objects, right? Yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay, so we have this thing here. I have sort of what I call my playground I can move around in. What I want to do next is I need to, let's go ahead and move this over just so that I'm more in the center of the screen when we start out. How do I know where my camera is? I kind of see this blue line. We're gonna move that. Oop, let's make our player. All right, put this in the center of our screen here. Yeah, I'm gonna end up doing it. Well, it's gonna be tricky because my rigid body is gonna rotate, so we'll have to, maybe we can say lock rotation on it as well. I'm gonna stick to, I'm not gonna do that just yet. I'm not gonna do that just yet. Okay, so we have our player. Can you add, I'm assuming you can't add multiple scripts to a node. I'll have to add like sub nodes to this. So I'd actually add a child here called node. And this would be our player movement controller, like that. And then I would move my movement controller. That's not what I want to do. This would actually be my player movement controller. This wouldn't have, this is just like a combination. Well, so, you know, to keep my logic separated, we made this 1,000 there. Okay, and let's group these things together. Are they grouped? Can I not group that? I want two groups selected. All right, so these I can't group for some reason. That's okay. They don't have a space, so really that's all I really care about is moving that. Yeah, so the idea is like I want a player movement script. I can attach this to anything that needs to move. And I'm gonna write a script. So this is like the concept of a player. The rigid body, I think, represents like the physical part of the player. It might make sense to make it a node 2D, possibly. Possibly. We'll find out. We'll find out. Make sure I didn't break anything here. Yeah, I can still move. So what I want to do is I want to calculate my player's normal, right? And then I need to rotate my image here. All right, so we're gonna rotate this circle based on, so like the actual model, we're gonna rotate based off of my, does our rigid body have a relative left and right? That could be useful. That could be useful. Okay, But what I want to do is I'm going to have a second script here. So my player movement controller is simple. It says when I press left, go left. When I press right, go right. The secret is going to be to, rather than doing vector.right, we want to find the vector that is relative to our player. So I don't think I need to do any collision detection. Instead, I want to do a raycast. Actually, is going to be my collision detection. I want to do a raycast to find, well, how much should I rotate my body by? You know, what direction is my down? So let's add in a new script here. It's interesting that they're partial classes. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But let's add in a new file here. It's going to be our slope ground. Okay. And so our slope ground is going to do a raycast every physics frame. Okay. What's going on with this? Oh, I need to do slope ground. Suppose I could have it pulled down to 7 slope ground. Detector, something like that. How do I do a raycast? Raycast 2D. Let's look at how to do a raycast. There's a raycast node. So I have to make a raycast node. Represents a ray. So it's not I want to create a raycast. This isn't a raycast, but I want to shoot a raycast down from a specific point and like from the edge of my shape, essentially. Really, I want to do it from the center of my shape. And then fire it down. So is there like a physics? Let's go look. I'm going to look at the documentation here. Godot raycast 2D. Juan, how you doing, friend? Welcome back to the stream. I want to do a raycast. We're checking out Godot, yeah. Godot stores one of the most common things in development, GD script, Get World 2D. Raycast query. For performing 2D raycast, the physics direct space state 2d.intersect.ray may be used. Physics ray query parameter 2D create. So I'm assuming this is our start vector, and then this is where we want to raycast to. And then we get the whether or not we intersect. I don't know. This is it. That's okay, Irad. You're being incredibly helpful. Incredibly helpful. All right, so I think we want to do this. Use global coordinates, not local to node. Okay, so I want to... I need to get my node's position. All right, so I'm going to create a thing here that I can reference. That's going to give us the position of it. Oh yeah, IRAD, absolutely. Points, add IRAD dev for all your help. 500 points, my friend. We want to have a private, it doesn't need to be private to node 2D, like center. So this is where the center of our player is. Something like this. We'll go ahead and export this. Risky Biscuit, thank you so much for the raid again. Have a beautiful day. Keep coding, keep growing, keep being the best you can be. We'll be back on Saturday for Mechanically Challenged, so I hope to see you then. So we have our player center. I want to get player center dot position, but I want to get it in world space. So I don't want it relative to my parents. So I want to get the world space given. All right, so given a node 2D. Does this, let's look at what this does. Because this seems to be what I'm gonna want. I find that I do very bad if I try and use tutorials. Like watching videos and stuff. I feel like I don't learn anything. I learn more from reading the docs and just playing with things. Get World 2D doesn't seem to exist. Where's this method Get World 2D coming from? This doesn't seem, is it GD dot get world? Interesting. Developer Linux over on YouTube. Hello. Nice to see you. Welcome in. The best way to learn software is to have an idea, build what you want rather than learn all the features of the engine, being overaware that you don't build. Yeah, that's sort of my experience too. I learn best by just trying to do things. Godot get world 2D. Let's see if we can figure out where this is. What method? Is it on this? I want to create, all right. Return a new pre-configured physics parameter. Use it to quickly create query parameters for the most common options. Okay. I don't know where this met. So in the example code from the docs, it had us do get world 2D. This is Godot 4. I'm using Godot 4. I'm assuming there's an import that I'm missing that and I just don't know where this method is coming from. I'm assuming there's a using directive I have to have that I'm not seeing that would be above it here. Canvas item. In physics world, Godot stores all the low-level collisions and stuff. Oh, I see. Maybe if I do this, we have get world. Yeah. Okay, so instead, I want to do player get world 2D. That's what I want to get. All right, so it's based on my player center here. Okay. Yeah, I was just, it's because it's part of node 2D, not part of, you know, I need, it's on a method, get world 2D. Return the world to where this item is the world's physical 2D space state used for querying current. Are there other states? Space state seems to be the only thing. Yeah, be sure it's part of the player world, right? Player world. This would be like player world state, base, state, something like that. I want this to be, I'm assuming this by default does nothing. I'm wondering whether I need to do the base here at all. So this position is relative to the parent, but I really want to get the player's world position. Global position. Beautiful. Thank you. All right. So this should be a vector 2, I'm assuming. Vector 2. Player center. All right. So we're going to do a center here. And we want to say how far are we going to cast, do a ray cast from the center. So this is interesting too, because I need to find our vector of rotation. Otito, welcome to the stream. Happy Wednesday. Over on YouTube, we got Otito. I want to go down, but it's going to be relative to our rotation. So yeah, what is our players? Really? Well, I'm so glad to hear that you're learning some C# from my videos. Great to have you here. Great to have you here. I'm used to saying just what direction do I want my ray to go? Yeah. I appreciate you. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate player.rotation. So this isn't gonna be quite right. So like in Unity they use quaternion, so like you multiply a vector down, you can find that direction. Yeah, so I want to shoot I want to ray cast for my players down. So I want this idea of my player object having a down. So I want to fire down, but it's not world down. I guess I could do world down for now, right? So it'd be, I don't know how big like these are. Welcome in. I am really not. Great to have you here on this beautiful day. Vector to target. So we could do this like that. Oh, we can't. So I guess it's just vector 2. And there's like a distance I want to do. Can I draw? Is there like a debug.draw? I want to be able to draw lines on the screen. Is there a way to draw lines on the screen in Godot? I could also do, there's something I could do. I could cheat a little bit. So I could also do this. All right. I could do the following. Private node 2D. Raycast target like this. I could do this. Vector to bottom. Raycast target global position. This would be my cheater way to do it, so I don't have to do any math here, and I'll show you how this is gonna work real quick. There's a draw method, node2d.draw. Okay, so like drawing debug information would be really, really useful for me. So here's how I'm gonna cheat, quote unquote, cheat a little bit. Inside of my player's circle here. So this happens to be what I'm gonna use for my bottom here. So let's add in, I'm gonna add in a script here for my node. This is gonna be our slope ground detector. So like this is the thing that's gonna keep us. Oh, this wasn't actually naming it. I just want to do this. So like this is because I'm used to doing things in Unity. So bear with me while I'm while my brain is working to process all of how exactly all this works. So let's go with slope ground controller. We're gonna add in our slope ground controller here to this. It wants our player center. That's gonna be this circle. Okay. And then I'm gonna actually create a sub component on this just to be a node 2D. Okay. And this is gonna be our like raycast target. Proton! It's so wonderful to see. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. Proton, thank you so much for coming by. Folks, be sure to go check out Proton, incredible human being. Commodore 64 coding guru, working on Amiga stuff currently. Amazing musician as well. All right, so let's move that down. I wanted to just move, so now it's snap. Let's turn off snap. This I just want to come straight down. So I'm gonna raycast to here. So the reason I'm doing this, notice I put this in here. This is our rename raycast target. So if my circle rotates, that raycast target's gonna rotate with it. So now I can just say, hey, this is my raycast target. Just look for that. So I'm gonna draw a line from here to here, and that's my raycast target. Okay, let's go ahead and export this as well. Run the build so that we can attach it here. And so this is my player slope ground controller, that's my center, and then my raycast target there. So now I don't have to do any math, say how far do I want to do, that kind of stuff. All right, but now my raycast here, hopefully, let's see, what does this return? Man, the variable names are long here. Results equals this. This is where var, using the var keyword might actually make sense here. These things are so long. Results dot. All right, so let's go see if we're getting collisions. Intersect ray. Okay, so this is our player world state space dot intersect ray. And we are going to say this is our ray here. Ray. All right. Take a look at the results from the demo party last weekend. I don't have a ton of time right now for a distraction too much, but we can maybe take a quick look. Uh-oh. Hang on, what am I looking at here? $68K inside. Results. Take a look at the results from the demo party last weekend. Is this one, is this yours? I'm just curious here. Quantum Leap. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm looking at on this page specifically. I was looking for your name. Yeah, it's not clear what I'm looking for here, Proton. Sorry about that. All right. And this returns some kind of dictionary. Man, the naming of these things are wild to me. Intersects a ray in a given space. Ray position are defined here. Let's look at our results. All right, so this will be, okay, so it says this would be our query. Results would be this, and we can loop through the results. Hit a point at, and we can get the normal and stuff. Okay. if result.count, I see it would be multiple things. Oh, it's a result.count has some things in it. Results dot, like, okay, so this is like a dynamic object that has these keys in it. We want to get our normal here. Let's do gd.print colliding with normal, and then we would do result of normal. See, I want to wrap this in like a whole nother thing. Let's try this here. Let's see what our output looks like. There we go. Now we have some better things. I'm wondering if I could just apply that rotation directly. All right, let's try it. So this is our player center. This is like actually our player node. Can I apply, so if I do player center dot rotation, so it wants a percentage. So I need to take that normal. What is the type of this normal? It's a vector 2. Vector 2 normal. Result of normal. And I want to, oh, that's really annoying that I have to do a cast. That feels awful to me. I would want to write a whole wrapper around this. The fact that I have to do a cast like this feels terrible to me. All right, I want to take a vector that's our normal, and I want to find the rotation of that. So I'm wondering vector 2.angle from angle. There isn't like a vector 2 angle. Given two vectors, right? Given two vectors, what is the angle between them is what I want to do. So let's see if we can find that in the Godot docs. Godot, angle between two vectors. And I could probably write the math specifically. Okay. Vector math. Angle. A little bit, yeah. So like having a cast like that is a little bit gnarly. How do I find theta? A vector represents, I'll think of theta as a length or magnitude. In this case, the arrow is a position vector. Angle. Okay, so there's a dot we can do. That means we use dot to tell us something about the angle between the two vectors. All right, let's try this. We'll do normal dot product with vector dot up, vector 2 dot up, float angle. So this would be our angle like that, I suppose. And then what I want to do is we'll do our player center, and I need to rename this. That rotation should be angle. And I'm wondering if this will give us a signed value or not. So if we might have to apply some kind of value to it. Let's do a build here. So the angle goes, so it's like our angle in radians. All right, so we need to do rads to like rotation angle. Okay. I think we're in radians is what's happening. You'll notice the angle is changing very, very slightly. Which might actually be what we want. Maybe. That's interesting. I'm noticing my normal changes on this side. Oh, it's because I've rotated. It's because I've rotated my down. So I'm no longer colliding there. That's interesting. Should it always be directly down? Oh, I think it needs to always be straight down. So this shouldn't be part of the rotation. No, it will be, because as we come up and around, is that right? Yeah, because as we're coming around a slope, we need to keep tracking it. I do need to wrap up here in about 10 minutes. So I do got to get out of here. Would it be with my vector dot down? Because that would, let's test that. It's the difference from world down. Colliding with normal. -1. What is vector 2 dot down? Down, world down. Oh, it's relative to the player. Yeah, hang on. Player, normal, angle. Something's not quite right. I have my calculations slightly wrong. I gotta get off of here. Have a beautiful day, Irad. Thanks for hanging out. Let's find someone to raid, everybody. We do got to get out of here. Maybe I'll have time to finish this before Saturday. I'm not sure. Down. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. I should be doing it relative to up. That's what I thought. World up. What's interesting is that the dot product... Biggs, thank you for hanging out. So these are the same. The angle should be like 0 here. So, oh, it's because it's in radians. It's because it's in radians. That's right. All right. I gotta get out of here. We're gonna find someone to raid. We got Sorcery Story, we got Full Box, we got Magatron, we got Jackie Codes, we got all kinds of people. Who do we want to raid, people? Any strong feelings? Jotson's another good one. Let's go. I'm getting out of here, Proton. Thanks though. All right, let's go raid. No strong suggestions. We're gonna raid. We haven't raided Sorcery. We haven't raided Jackie. Who do I want to raid? Let's raid Sorcery Story. Sorcery Story. All right, folks. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Sorcery Story looks like they're just getting started, so that should be fun. I'll be back on Saturday for Mechanically Challenged. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Be sure to join the Discord. Be sure to be back on Saturday for Mechanically Challenged. Keep coding. Keep growing, keep being the best you can be. You're welcome back anytime. I'll see you Saturday. Bye-bye.